Hello, 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 everyone. How are you? Hope you're having an incredible, incredible day, and may peace be upon you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. It Takes Courage with me, your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. And today we have very, very special guest today because we just celebrated the launch of Women Who Trust, and it's such an honor, joy, and privilege to have three of those co-authors from Women Who Trust to come and join us today to share their insights, their key strategies, and also simple actions that you can do to create trust. So let's welcome the ladies to the stage. Let's pop them in there. So welcome Selena, Pam, and also Anjani to the show. Welcome, 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 ladies. And
Thank you.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so this is such an experience of collaborating with one another. I mean, a couple of us have collaborated before on other projects, various other projects before, but it's such joy to bring incredible women together today. So, just a quick couple of words. How are you feeling at the moment after the launch of Women Who Trust, something that we have been working on since beginning of the year? Just a couple of words to just get things started. Let's start with Pam.
I'm excited. It's been a fun journey, and I'm happy to be with all you ladies on this journey.
Thank you. And Johnny, what are you feeling at the moment?
I feel really honored to be part of a group of women like this who are really bringing a lot of wisdom for other women to feel inspired by.
Beautiful. And the wisdom and the reflection, right? Because a lot of things now out there are superficial. It's kind of more on the surface level. So beautifully said, and Johnny, thank you. And Selena, how are you feeling after this is your second book? How are you feeling with all the experience and the emotions that's running through?
Yes, I feel a deep sense of gratitude for the opportunity that we're able to share our experiences and the wisdom that we've gained through our experiences.
Beautiful, thank you. So let's say put Selena on the spotlight for a moment, and we'll catch up with Anjani and Pam in a moment. All right, Selena. First of all, congratulations on the courage and the bravery to share this part of you that I know was hard. It's been years in the making with overcoming who you are, your self-worth, and feel like you probably don't fit in. So, what's your biggest tip in helping people to create trust in themselves or in others or situation when you feel that you don't fit in?
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Is, again, for the opportunity. Um, for me, I went into this season of writing books with you and the TEDx Huntington Beach with a little bit of a sense of inferiority, because I was coming from a place of addiction and I had been recovered for a few years. So I had a deep sense of inferiority. I realized, Doctor, is that I had to work those feelings out in my own self, because that sense of not trusting myself was inhibiting me from trusting others.
Yeah, and that's a key moment, right? Because of your past that has been so long in a way shaping you. And then, kind of somehow you lost yourself. You lost your voice. You lost who you are, your idea, your thoughts.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, where am I now? Right? Who
Right.
who can I trust? Can I even trust myself? So what's something that people can do to start the very least regenerate that trust within themselves? What is one step they can do to create or kind of form back that trust when that trust has been so long been forgotten?
Yes. Um, I know I had to free myself from the burdens of my past in order for me to move forward. I had to let go of some of the misconceptions that I had about my past. So just freeing myself from the person that I used to be and embracing the person who I had become.
Beautiful. And going to your past and remembering that little girl, right? Who
That's right.
loves to sing, that little girl who has that joy, that little girl who's full of life, that little girl who has that curiosity of learning and just embracing that girl back to where you are now. So kind of like go back to the time and travel back and remembering that part of who you were that was so lost. Thank
Yes.
you so much, Selena, for
Yes.
that wisdom. Thank you. We'll touch base with you back in a moment, Selena. Okay, let's touch base with Pam now. Hi, Pam, and Pam just got back from Nashville. Embracing that queen of rock, queen of Nashville, performing on stage in front of, an incredible audience, incredible, how would you call Roger Love, Andrew? Like a mentor, kind of like leader in the industry. So Pam, let's talk about that creating self in creating trust in yourself because in that moment it's kind of like a big deal. This Roger Love has trained so many A-listers before, and then there's Pam. So let's talk about your tip in creating trust when you have, when you feel that you're someone outside of your circumference is like way on another level than you.
Absolutely. Thank you for the question, Dr. S. Uh, the You're absolutely right. Walking in that room, even though we had spent months working with both Drew and Roger Love, um, it it was surreal, and I, like Selena just said, kind of felt inferior, right? That I had this self-doubt: is, am I in the right room? Can I do this? And what I had to do is take a look at what the work I've put in and how far I have come. And I have done the work just like everybody else in the room. So I had to go back to, I always like starting with my thoughts. So I had to start with me, what I was feeling, what I was thinking, and work through that. And yes, I did deserve to be in that room. I had put in the work. We were all at different levels of our skill, so that's to be expected. I'm new to this, so I had to say it's okay to be new. I just have to be me. That was really what had come through. I had to be me, and so that was the biggest thing: is trusting myself to know that I can step in and fill my own shoes, so to speak.
Yeah, like, being having the awareness. Yeah, and I have a different skill set. Maybe I'm, not, I haven't been singing for years, like 20, 30 years, but at least I'm me. I put in the effort. I show up, I'm prepared. I'm prepared to play. I'm playing, kind of embracing that part about yourself, which is often the hardest thing to do because we wanted to compare, right? Like, oh, this person has this years, but I don't, and this person has this and I don't. It's kind of like, what a way to start your day by playing that comparison game. So
Absolutely.
let's touch base when, because you said like, some people have a different skill set. So you said mention about awareness and having that awareness of when I'm feeling what am I, thinking, my thoughts. What's something that you did in a moment when that awareness comes through? Because, what happens? after that?
The biggest thing I ask, the first thing I ask when it comes through is it true? Is this true? Is what's coming in my head, is it really true? Is it something I've picked up from somewhere or someone else? And am I willing to let it go, even if it's just for this moment, right? Even if it's for the moment that I'm getting ready to step up on stage. I kept telling myself, I picked up this line from, I don't remember from whom, but it's, I am here now. And and that pulled me back into the present moment and took me out of the thoughts, anything that was coming up. And so I am here now. I am here now. And so that really, really helped me pull back into the present moment and ask the questions of anything that was coming up. Am I willing to let go of this now so that I can get up and do what I need to do? And as we all know, once we step into that scariness, that nervousness, that fear, it's usually all right, right? We come out the other side still standing up. It doesn't kill us, that we are able to work it through. And then what does that do? It gives us more confidence in our abilities, right? That we succeeded in
Beautiful.
something. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, that I am here now, right? Having those thoughts and whatever that comes with it, acknowledge it, embrace it, and just saying to yourself, I am here now, which kind of reminds me when I was just about to go up on the TEDx stage. Like, I just took a couple of deep breaths and then closed my eyes and just say a quick prayer, like, God, just let me be. Just let me be. Let them hear my heart. Let me touch their hearts and help me to take care of one person so I can be so grateful. So it's kind of like, I'm here now. And then when you're there, you kind of like your attention is, my job is to take care of others with this message. So that's a beautiful way of saying it, Pam,
Exactly.
like I am here now.
Because we're truly just really the vessel of whatever, like for you, that you're the vessel of the message, and same with me.
Mhm.
It's the delivery of the song. So there's a message or something inside of us to give to others. And I love how you did the prayer and the breath, because it is the same thing, bringing into the present moment and then allowing us to deliver, right?
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Pam.
Yeah.
We'll touch base with you in a moment. All right, let's bring our next co-author who came all the way from Australia, so on the other side of the world. But not to worry, I shall be going back to Malaysia in the summer, and Anjani and I will be closer in terms of the distance. So Anjani, let's touch base on the key factor in creating trust in yourself, because you shifted from one career to the other, and then as you were trying to figure things out, it's kind of like a really huge struggle. Like, people see, oh, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but more often you can't even see the tunnel, let alone the light. So how do you create trust in that situation when you can't even see the light, you can't even see the tunnel, you just kind of like in a space that is so sticky and muddy and yucky, in that situation?
I would say, so what you're referring to is my huge 360 that I did in my midlife, when I'd been a corporate lawyer for 16 years and I was working in the top law firms in the world, and I burnt out. And following that, I took some time out for myself. I went to India, as you do, to on my own Eat, Pray, Love story, and really took a chance on myself to rediscover who I really was. And I would say for me that the advice I would have, because there isn't a roadmap when you're discovering who you really are and where you're meant to be going in life. We have to follow the breadcrumbs, and that means following our gut, following our intuition or our higher self. And for that, we have to let go of that part of us that wants to conform to society, that wants to conform to our family or the culture that we were raised in, to fit into the little cardboard box of, oh, people are expecting me to do this, to people pleasing, and actually start to rediscover who we are beyond the roles that we play in life. And we play along with these roles and we accept these roles, and mostly these roles serve us. But a lot of the time, for us to really start trusting ourselves, we have to discover who we are. And that's a journey of self-reflection.
Beautiful. And starting to discover who we are. And I love what you said about there isn't a specific roadmap, right? Like, this is how you do it. This is how you discover. This is what happens when you have burned out. And more often than not, we could get going even after the burned out, because we are, such an incredible being. We still could get going to the point where I think we die. Um, but the self discovering, like I love what you said about taking a chance on yourself. So what does that journey look like? Because you've been in the corporate world as a corporate lawyer for many years. Things are so different than taking a chance. Corporate world, corporate lawyer is all black and white. It's all laws and regulation. Taking a chance on yourself, it's like a splat. You don't know which part are you going. So talk us through in terms of taking a chance on yourself when everything that you have known, everything you have been trained for, everything that you have been wired is the complete opposite.
Yes, it's about dialing in. So looking inward and asking yourself those deeper questions. Who am I beyond my roles, being a mother, a sister, a daughter, a lawyer? Who am I beyond this? And you can even ask yourself, you can play a little game and ask yourself repeatedly, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And after a few of those self-questioning, you actually start to drop deeper into your truth beyond the roles that we adopt in society. And it is those roles that keep us stuck. It's those roles that don't allow us to connect with who we really are and trust ourselves and trust life. And it's a leap of faith from the black and white logical mind, which is always based in fear and insecurity and not enough, into trusting that deeper part of self, our intuitive part of self, our creative, innovative part of self that is more multicolored, multifaceted. We are very multicolored and faceted. So it's about doing that.
Beautiful. And the multifaceted, the going beyond your roles. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? But sometimes it's often not the easiest. I remember I was at an event recently, and I was like, there's this couple, right? Like when I saw them before, I wasn't sure whether are they together, are they not? Are they together, are they not? And then when I saw them again at the event, I'm like, you know what? My observation skills is so much better now. I think they are because they're playing the footsies, they're doing this kind of thing. And then, eventually they did. And then I was telling that to my coach. And then my coach was like, fantastic observation skills. Now, when you're observing other people, I want you to turn that skill and observe yourself. I'm like, no, like that is the hardest thing to do, to have the observation skill turned on myself. It's not fun playing footsie with yourself. It's not, I can't, like, it's often is the hardest thing, but that is where a lot of things can be revealed, a lot of answers can be found, or at least the pointers and the guidance to what's next, what is connected, what is in alignment to your life. So thank you so much for that, Anjani, for that wisdom. And the book, Women Who Trust, is available on Amazon, like the stories that Anjani, Pam, and Selena, like ideas, the key strategies are available. So you want to go and grab a copy of the book on Amazon, or you can go ahead and scan that QR code. You don't want to miss out on that stories. We've also included Audible in that as well, because for those Audible lovers like myself, it's just so beautiful to hear and be listening to that. Okay, so we'll touch base with Anjani in a moment. I wanna bring back Selena up and asked her, Selena, when trust, right? Especially when you started to trust yourself back, and you've been given a guidance or something. But then you started to like, oh no, start to have doubt in that guidance that was given, or started to have doubt in yourself after you started to trust yourself, and then the doubt creeps in. What are some of the things that people can do, some action things, action steps, or strategies that people can do to start bringing trust back to themselves when doubt creeps in?
Yes. So in our book, Women Who Trust, the action steps that I shared were three simple things that I did and that others can do as well. Number one was determine why it is that I'm feeling this way. What is it within my own self, my insecurities? So I had to determine first and foremost. And then number two was release those emotions. I had to learn how I was going to let go of those things. And for me, it was through prayer, mental health care, nutrition, proper nutrition, and exercise. So releasing those, any kind of negative emotions that were pulling me back from moving forward. And three was to be able to free myself. And to do that, I read in a book once, or we had, I believe, at one of Bo Eason's events, a great speaker told us to create a reverse alter ego. So for me, my reverse alter ego was sick Selena, that sick Selena who was addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol. And I had to free myself and remind myself that I'm not that sick Selena anymore. I'm a new creation. And so, again, just freeing myself from the burdens of my past.
Beautiful. And I love how you say about making the readjustment of taking care of ourselves, whether it's nutrition, prayer, meditation, breath work, whatever it is that you need to do. When doubt starts to creep in, take care of yourself and bring yourself back to balance, or bring yourself back to alignment. Thank you so much, Selena, for that wonderful tips and the three action plan. That's what's so cool about the book, right, Selena? It's not just so many inspiring stories, but we give key lessons straight to the point.
That's
We
right.
give action steps straight to the point, so that people are not left wondering what's next. They're
That,
taken care of from the beginning to the end. And then Selena also compiled the last chapter, which is the 5 action steps that you can use to create trust. So it's kind of a culmination of the whole vision of the book. So thank you so much for the tip and your effort, Selena.
yes.
Okay, let's touch base with Pam here. Let's back up to Pam. So Pam, let's start with giving people some tips or action plan, action steps that they can take when they want to do something that they've never done before, but the doubt creeps in, like you going to Nashville. You've never done that before, but there was something about it that, kind of like you trusted, whether it's in the person that invited you, whether it's the circumstances or the vision. So give us some action step that people can use when they want to take that leap to something they've never done before, something that is big, something that is different, something that is going to set them in motion for another amazing thing, but doubt creeps in.
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. I have found that there's two ways to look at the situation when you're into something that's new and maybe bigger, outside of your realm of possibility at the moment. And that is, either you have to just jump in with 2 feet and 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 just go with your gut, your intuition, and say, I can do this, and be open and willing to embrace whatever comes your way. That would be one, but that is really hard for most people, I would think. I know it is for me. The other is take it in baby steps, what I call baby steps, just small chunks. What could you do if you're going after something big, something unknown, something you've never done before, and you have this self-doubt creeping in? You know, you have to build that self-trust, right, with yourself. So if you can baby step that, what is one little thing you can do today that will get you closer to that big goal, that big ambition, that something that's unknown that you don't know? Because that's what we're scared of, right? Is the unknown. So when you take that little baby step and you're successful at that, that's a true win. And now you're building that self-confidence and that self-trust within you to take the next step. And then over time, you're going to get there and you're going to succeed, right? It's the same way of when I another time I talked about fear of building my business, that I was going in the kitchen and eating, grabbing something to eat. And I couldn't figure out why I kept getting up to I was distracting myself from doing what I needed to do. And when I asked the question, what I called the eavesdropping, what I talked about earlier is, you know, going within and figuring out what you're thinking and what's coming up for you. I found out when I got curious about that is I had a fear of what I need to do, really about building the business, not about what I was doing, because I knew that would build the business. In the same way with singing in Nashville, it's about looking inside and doing the small steps each day, whether it be vocal warm-up, something that you get successful at, and that allows you to step into the bigger stage, so to speak.
Beautiful. And taking that one small action, even if it's half an action, right? Even if
Yes.
it's just half an action, sometimes you can't even like, because when things are so big, especially something that is throws you out of your comfort zone, like taking an action just seems like a big deal. But what like Pam was saying, like start with a 10-minute vocal exercise, or start stretching out, start working things out, having conversation journal, whatever it is that's going to help you to take, in Pam's case, when she was singing in Nashville, it would be something along the lines of empowering her and strengthening her to become a great singer, someone who's confident on stage. So whatever that looks like she said, vocal warm up, which is, beautifully said. Just take that small little step. Sometimes just thinking about it is like a big deal. Thinking about it, say a line, whatever that is, that works for you. Thank you so much, Pam, for that tip. And Woman Who Trust is available on Amazon. You can scan the code, and Pam's story, Anjani, Selena's, and all the other co-authors are available on the book. So you do not want to miss that. And Women Who Trust also hit the #1 bestseller list on Amazon in multiple countries. So congratulations, ladies, on that success. And it was definitely a huge team effort, with everybody working together to spread the word out, to spread the message. And the proceeds from the launch of the book is being donated to TEDx Huntington Beach, so that, we can create an impact in the community in sharing people's voices, so that the ideas can be heard and hopefully create a movement within the community. So thank you so much for your help. Okay, let's touch base now with Anjani here. Anjani, very quickly, what are some of the action steps that people can take whenever doubt creeps in, whenever they want to take a chance on themselves, whenever they want to do something of the opposite that they've never done before? What are some action steps that they can use to do that?
I have 3 very simple action steps that I included in the book, Women Who Trust. And these come down to the self. So it's controversial because a lot of people will give you tactics that to do outside, like just go for it, just do it, take one step. And yes, you can do those things. But for me, what moves the dial the most, and for any time that you need to then in the future trust yourself, it all starts and ends with yourself. It's an inside job. So the first step is self-awareness. We've to move from self-doubt to self-trust, we have to understand what our limiting beliefs are, what our limiting thoughts are, what our limiting feelings are, and challenge those. The second step is self-compassion. If we cannot treat ourselves with compassion, then we are not going to be able to feel good enough to take that little small step. So it's very important that we tell ourselves, I'm doing great, pat ourselves on the back, I'm doing a great job, I'm doing well, I'm doing my best. Remember, it's natural to have doubts, and it's okay to be different. So self-compassion actually will give us some wings. And then thirdly, step out of the box that we often unintentionally put ourselves in, and start to trust our own gut, our intuition, our inner knowing. Give it a little bit of airtime and allow yourself to listen to it, and then more importantly, follow it. And if you can do that, if you trust your intuition and celebrate your successes, your confidence and self-trust will grow.
Beautiful. And having that self-compassion in yourself, right? Just telling yourself, like you said, I've done my best. I'm doing my best. It's the best that I can do at the moment. And I'm giving everything that I've got versus kind of like looking at the lack of what you don't have or what other people are having. Is going to bring back that awareness, that confidence, that courage to yourself. And I feel like the theme of the conversation is just stop looking outside and kind of like bring the focus back to you. Like you're not in competition with anyone else. Like it's you. Like bring the power back to you when it has been lost for so long. So thank you for that reminder, Anjani. Let's touch base with all the other women here back as we wrap up. And ladies, I just wanted to say thank you so much for accepting the invitation of being part of this book project. It's just brings my heart so much joy because the vision of the book came to me when I was at the hospital looking after my dad, Aya. He was in the ICU, and then he, came out of the ICU. He was in the hospital for the week. And in that moment, I was like, God, just show me the vision, show me what I need to do, show me how I can serve to my highest level of contribution, show me the guidance, just show me. And then God showed me this vision, which is this vision of this book, this anthology, Women Who Trust. And I was like, okay, thanks, God. But I think I'm going to do this one. I think I'm going to do the solo book project because, anthology, there's a few ladies at the same time. It can get complicated and hard work. But if I do solo book project with other people, I just take it of one person at a time. I think I'm going to do that, God. So I did that, I kind of like did the marketing, whatever that I need to do. And then when the time comes to like, all right, where are my ladies? And then when I looked, zero people like signed up, like zero. This is like, oh my God, like all these thoughts come into my mind. And then I was like, God, show me the sign, show me the direction, just show me what I need to do. And then God showed me back this vision of trust, this women who trust. That vision of the word trust with women. I could feel this woman. I could feel you ladies, but I don't know who you are yet. And I was like, okay, God, since I have some free time now, because nobody signed up for that solo project, I think I'll just give it a go. So I put some bits and pieces together and then put it out there. And by, end of the day, a few women said yes. And then yes again and again and again. So here you are, ladies. Sometimes when you ask for guidance, the guidance comes to you, but you're like, I think I'm smarter than God. Oh my God, like no, right? And then so come back to that level of awareness and the guidance and trust in yourself, in God, in the source, and that is best for you. So ladies, let's wrap up with this. Women who trust is unstoppable when fill in the blanks. Okay. So we'll touch base with Anjani. Woman who trusts unstoppable
when we awaken to our inner intuition.
When we're awakening to our inner intuition. And it's kind of like part of her Anjani's TEDx talk, like trusting she calls it the higher intelligence in her talk, but intuition, trusting that, allowing that to come to the surface and then following through. Beautifully said. Okay, Pam, woman who trusts is unstoppable
when you do follow those nudges and follow your heart, and then trust yourself enough to step into it.
Beautiful. You follow those nudges, and even like me, when I had this nudge and I go to do the opposite thing, and then when you come back and then you you step and trust yourself and follow that nudges, that you can always come back. That's what I feel like people are missing. That they felt that once they step out of it, they can never come back. But you can always come back. You can always come back to those nudges. And that nudges is always going to be there, right, Pam? It's always going to be there, and you just gotta listen to it.
Right.
And Selena, woman who trusts is unstoppable when? Selena, woman who trusts is unstoppable when? Selena, can you hear me? Okay, I think she might not be able to hear me. One more time, Selena, woman who trusts is unstoppable when? Can you ladies hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All righty, so let's wrap up with thank you so much for joining the show It Takes Courage with me, your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. And remember, go and grab a copy of Woman Who Trust, who hits the number one bestseller in multiple countries. I think we hit number one in the US, we hit number one in Australia. I think we hit number one in either England or Canada. I forgot which one was it. But thank you so much for your support. We could not have done it without your support. And thank you to the co-authors for their trust, for their commitment, for their persistence, for their vision, and for co-creating what's possible in touching people's hearts, in taking care of other people in their journey in the times of darkness. And the intention is that, when you pick up the book, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's valuable. Oh yes, that's what I need. Oh, that's what I need to do. So it's not full of gems and inspiring stories, but actually someone there holding your hand, like Selena holding your hand, Pam holding your hand, and Johnny holding your hand, and myself holding your hand for the next step. So thank you so much for being here. And remember, be brave in sharing your voices, because you never know who needs to hear your voice, who needs to hear it, and how you can touch them and help them. All right, ladies, let's say goodbye to everybody. And